being defective. So what are the various types of defect that can render a product defective?
The branding of that product and its content may look different from the original product you used to know. Let me use Tura soap for instance. If you use Tura soap for bathing.
Okay, so don't mention the products, but you can don't mention a name. You can actually.
Okay. Thank you very much. Now,
Yes.
when you use a particular bathing soap, you know the soap you use, and eventually the one you've been using got finished. There is the tendency for you to get another one. And so when you go to the market or to the shop to get another bathing soap, the same product you use, because it's what you've been using, you can easily compare and contrast. You know the one that is fake, you know the one, most times they look similar, but that is why you have to exercise every amount of meticulousness in course of comparing and contrasting. The odor of the soap will also tell you if it is a type that do scent, and this time around, the particular scent you're getting is not the one you used to know. You also identify scent. So these are some of the things you use to identify products that are defective. I made mention of expiration. I also made mention of the branding. We have many of them, and these are the few I can remember for the now. Hello.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me, sir? I
can hear you now.
All right, thank you so much. Can you reposition your camera well before we proceed? Thank you, please. Do that very fast. Thank you. All right, so on to our next question while you are doing that. Let's look at some of the remedies available to consumers who have been harmed by defective products, and how can they seek compensation when this happens?
Without much ado, some of the remedies available for victims or consumers who suffer from defective products. And one, you can carry out a legal action, take up a legal action against the manufacturer or supplier in a bid to claim damages. Am I communicating? You carry out a legal action.
Go on.
You carry out a legal action in the bid to claim damages. Then, how can they seek compensation? You can't just on your own go to a manufacturer whose product is defective and begin to say, please come and compensate me. No. Having instituted a legal action in court, from there, you seek damages, compensation. So it is the court that will award damages or that will give order that the manufacturer or supplier should compensate you based on the evidence before it. Based on the evidence before it. The evidence must be convincing, must be very weighty, that will move the court to do the needful. Are you there? Are you there? Are you there?
Yes, please, go on.
Yes.
Are you there?
Yes, please. Can you hear me? All right, thank you so much, Barrister Benjamin. I don't know if you can hear me right now. Can you hear me? Okay, thank you so much for that explanation. Yes, of course. Thank you so much. Let's move ahead. Thank you for that beautiful explanation. Now, let's look at some of the Nigerian laws and regulations, such as the Consumer Protection Council Act, which protects consumers from defective products. So what are the imitation or limitation of these laws? Should I take the question again? My question is, how do Nigerian laws and regulations, such as the Consumer Protection Council Act, protect consumers from defective products? And how can they, what are the limitations of these laws, please?
Right. The question now is, what do you understand by laws or regulations? Now, laws or regulations are laid down principles that direct the activities of every individual or institution. Now, these are laid down rules stating expressly how operators, manufacturers, suppliers are to operate or carry on their businesses. Now, these laws set out penalties for defaulters. Am I communicating? That is the essence of laws and regulations. The limitations of these laws are that, one, some of these laws ought to be reviewed, repealed, amended, and even be upgraded to enable us have a punitive punishment or severe punishment for defaulters. Because we have a lot of manufacturers or suppliers all over now, innovations are coming up, and there is need for us to have punitive laws that would drive these manufacturers or suppliers into action, into doing what is good or what is right. So there should be severe laws that will guide the activities of these manufacturers. Number two, there should be provisions for proper monitoring of all the activities of these manufacturers, suppliers, sellers, and all of that. When we have all of these on ground, then we know that the laws in Nigeria regulating the activities of manufacturers and suppliers are active. When these
So the question
Are the
was, what?
limitation of this act, the Consumers Legal Act?
that's what I'm saying, that the limitations of these laws are that some of these laws are a cake. Yeah, some of these laws are a cake, and so they don't have provisions that contains punitive punishment, severe punishment for defaulters. Because they are a cake, there is need for a repeal of these laws. They don't contain These are some of the limitations. They don't contain punitive punishment for defaulters. Number two, no strict provision for proper monitoring of the activities of the manufacturers and suppliers. These are some of the limitations.
Wow.
Yes.
All right. Thank you
And
so
so when
much,
these
sir.
laws, when these laws are repealed, are amended, there will be room for punitive or severe punishment for defaulters. And there will be agencies or liaison officers set up by these laws to monitor the activities of manufacturers and suppliers.
All right, thank you so much. But I'll still have to go back to that question. But now let's look at our Facebook page. We have here on our comment section, Sister Amama Jojo. She says, let me specifically greet Starcross and your guests for today's program. It's quite educative. Now, still from her, she says, what's the criteria for initiating an action in court to be compensated? I think you have outrightly mentioned that or discussed on that, but you can still do that again for clarity's sake.
The criteria for what?
For initiating
an action in court to gain compensation, maybe from the consumer.
It's okay. Now, when you are talking of criteria, before you seek or before you institute a legal action in court, you're doing that to enable you to for the court to look at what you have suffered, the damages caused by the defective products you used. You don't just run to court. You must, before you go to court, there are things that are happening around you as a result of the defective product you used. And if you go to court, you ensure that, number one, you have your medical report indicating that what you're suffering, the ailment you're undergoing, is as a result of the defective product you used. There must be a reaction. Okay, let me take for instance, I don't know if you observe where somebody takes an expired drugs, you see some rashes on the person's body or skin, or maybe you use bad product, defective product, cream or soap, so to speak. You also discover or notice some spots, dark spots or black spots, so to speak, on the skin or body of the person. So these are some of the things or the reactions. So when you have all of these, you notice all of these, you seek, you institute a legal action in court for you to be compensated for the damages the defective products have caused.
All right, thank you so much, sir. I believe.
All right, thank you so much, sir. I believe that Sister Amama Jojo is satisfied with your response. But if you're not, Sister Amama, please do well to send in more questions for clarity. Of course, our barrister will do justice to that. I can see Sister Gladys Onyebo. Thank you so much, Sister Gladys. She's saying very interesting and impactful topic. Awesome. Thank you so much, Sister Gladys. So away from that, now let's move ahead to our next question. Now we have institutions or agencies, regulatory agencies such as the National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, that is NAFDAC. So now I want to understand what role does NAFDAC come to play when it has to do with consumers protection. So what role does it play in ensuring product safety, and what are their enforcement powers?
Body. And its pivotal role is to ensure that right and quality products are always made available for consumers without any compromise. Am I communicating? That is the pivotal role of NAFDAC, to ensure that right and quality products are always made available for consumers without any compromise. And so when you say NAFDAC, it is an agency, federal government agency. There are people that must rise up to the occasion to drive this agency to action. Now, you cannot just sit in the office and say you are a staff of NAFDAC. For instance, you all know about the late Professor Dora. We all knew the role she played. I want to say
reposition your camera, please. Thank you so much. Okay. Yes, please. Go on. We
all know the role Professor Dora played. In fact, when she was there as the NAFDAC boss, she took it upon herself to visit some of these manufacturers unannounced. She visited pharmacists unannounced. And as a result of that, so many defective drugs were identified, they were seized, destroyed, and all of that. So that is one of the roles NAFDAC plays, to ensure that rights and quality products are always made available for consumers without any compromise.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much. So, what are the best practices for manufacturers
and suppliers to ensure product safety and minimize liability? And how can they stay up to date with regulatory requirements?
Now, the role of a lawyer is inevitable.
Okay.
I would candidly advise that every of these manufacturers should have or create a legal department, employ the services of lawyers to guide them, to monitor relevant laws, new law, to upgrade, so that at the end of the day, they will not be found wanting. When they have a capable hand handling the legal department, they will be helping them to look at relevant laws that will help to drive their cause. They will not have any problems. But where they will always have problems is when they are compromised, when they don't attach so much importance to the role of a lawyer or lawyers, where the issue of having a legal department is downplayed, is not taken seriously. That's why they continue to have problems. So the services of a lawyer is inevitable when it comes to this issue. So my candid advice to all manufacturers is that there is need for them to create a legal department, employ the services of a lawyer or lawyers that will guide them properly to enable them to thrive in their respective businesses.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Please permit me to revisit one of the questions I asked you, where in a situation where a drink is being defective, who do you put the blame to? Is it the seller or the manufacturer? And you said both. Now, I have this other question. Now, for a situation where, or in a situation where the manufacturer or the supplier has no knowledge that the product is defective, so what is the impact of warnings and instructions on liability? It's never an excuse.
Look at the covers of the products. Look at the body of the products before you send them out. You examine if there's any substance that is not supposed to be in the product. before he sent them out. So the issue of we do.
Camera, sorry that.
Okay, yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
The issue of I do not have any knowledge does not arise. Ignorance of the law is not an excuse. And so once a manufacturer is found wanting, you're bound to face the wrath of the law. Yes.
All right. Thank you so much.
My next question. How do international conventions and treaties, such as the Hook Convention, impact the liability of manufacturers and suppliers of defective products in Nigeria? Should I take that question again?
Yes, go ahead. Yes.
So the question is, how do international conventions and treaties, such as the Hook Convention, I believe you are aware of the Hook Convention, so how does it impact on the liability of manufacturers and suppliers of defective products in Nigeria?
It's okay. This is possible because Nigeria is a member state of the international community. Also note that the World Health Organization, through its agencies or liaison personnel in Nigeria, gives reports either on monthly, quarterly, or annual basis. So where there are no compliance, the rate of victims increases, and the records are also there to show. Now, as a member of the international community, the World Health Organization take it upon itself to look at victims, to see to the activities of these manufacturers and suppliers, if to ascertain whether they are complying with laid down rules and principles. Where they fail to do that, necessary actions or steps are taken to stem their illegal acts or activities. Am I communicating? Hello? Hello?
Okay, thank you so much, Barrister Benjamin. Let's take a quick break. We will be right back. Please stay tuned.
Supernatural power, oh, super power, supernatural power, oh, super power,
yeah.
Supernatural power,
the name of God, is mysterious,
supernatural power,
His power is unbeatable.
This is music.
I use the name of Oluba to set the captives free. Power,
supernatural power,
I use the name of Oluba to open up doors. Power,
supernatural power,
and I use the name of Oluba to make the barren flow. Power, supernatural power, supernatural power, power of Oluba, supreme power, power of Oluba, supreme power. In the little town of Biafran, Ibumoluba give birth to our male child, who is to rule the world with the iron rod. A woman was blind for so many years. When she heard about the death of their baby, she demanded to carry the baby. Immediately, she received a sign. Super power. Because I use the name of Olumba to set the captives free. Power.
Watching Regnum Continuous Legal Education, and of course, let's take a stroll to our Facebook page. Yes, we have here from Sister Amama again. She's saying it is indeed worrisome to consumers in Nigeria whose rights are trampled upon. Section 120 of the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Act 2018 doesn't protect consumers. Sir, please, you have to reflect on this because I have a problem there. Remember, you just said Nigeria that we are... Oh, hold on, please, hold on. You said Nigeria is a signatory to some of these treaties, but then the right of a consumer is not protected. So what happens there? You will talk about this, but let's move ahead to the second comment by Sister Mama. Okay, she says again here that the said section 120 of the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Act 2018, which says producers are liable for damage caused wholly or partly by a product defective, irrespective of negligence. Now, this relates to where you said that ignorance of the law is never an excuse. So I would like you to discuss both of these.
Now, apart from the international treaty, you know that the country, Nigeria, has its own constitution that guides its activities. You're aware of that? And that is the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended. Now, under Chapter 4 of the Constitution, where all the rights of citizens are clearly stated. Now, it behooves, it is the responsibility, it is the responsibility of the federal government or the governor of a state to protect the rights of its citizens. Am I communicating? Now, let us quickly look at section 33. I want to juxtapose it with what section 120 of the Consumer Protection Act quoted by our viewers. Now, look at section 33 of sub 1 of the 1999 Constitution as amended. That has to do with the life of every citizen, except where the person is found wanting and has been sentenced to death by court of competent jurisdiction. We also look at section 34, sub 1, paragraph A of the Constitution that has to do with right to human dignity. Let me just take this tool. Let me adumbrate on this. Now, every consumer has his right or her right to be protected. So let the carelessness of the manufacturers or suppliers not take the life of a consumer. And that's why every consumer has to be vigilant and careful. Beyond that, any defective product used by a consumer, could either lead to psychological trauma or death. And so let these rights not be trampled upon as a result of the Consumers or Suppliers Act of doing things in a bid to make money. Now, looking at the Consumer Protection Act, that's why I said earlier that some of these laws are a cake. They need to be amended. Some need to be repealed. Some need to be overhauled entirely. We know that our laws, with due respect, are not working. Our laws need political will to drive them. That is the truth. But some of these laws are being relaxed for some political reasons or obvious reasons, so to speak.
Okay.
Look at, yes. Now, if those who are supposed to execute or implement these laws are not doing what they are supposed to do, the law cannot on its own move or act or work. It needs a political will to drive it. Now, thank God for some of these international treaties. The international treaties came as a result of some of these weak laws in some of these countries. Nigeria, for instance. It is quite unfortunate that those in authority are not doing what they are supposed to do. Rather than looking into the nitty-gritty of these laws, look at the ones that are supposed to be repealed, overhauled, and do the needful. They leave it and do a different thing, with due respect. And so we pray to the Father to touch the minds of those in authority to do what is right, so that at the end, we, the consumers, will not suffer from what we do not know.
All right.
Okay, thank you so much, Barrister.
The presence of these international laws has actually allayed our fears of consumers.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you so
right,
much,
thank you.
Barrister.
If you want to seek any redress in court, you can also bring up these international treaties to buttress of facts.
Okay. Okay.
To move the court into action.
Yes, please. Thank you so much. Yes, thank you for doing justice to that response or comment cited by Sister Amama Jojo. That was a very beautiful one. Yes, it has been a very beautiful moment out here with Barrister Benjamin Gigi, who has been talking on defective product and consumers' rights. Of course, consumers' protection issues and remedies. Thank you so much, sir. I really learned a lot, and of course, I know our audience did as well.
And most of that.
All right, thank you so much, sir. Yes, sir, wonderful. Amen, amen. Thank you so much. We hope to learn from you again next time.
Very well.
All right.
We are making plans to be in Calabar for the BC International Lawyers Conference.
Okay. So we'll...
If there will be room for us to also come up, please let me know so that we can use the opportunity to visit your studio once more.
All right, thank you so much. Definitely, we would definitely make plans for that. Thank you so much. Yes, to our wonderful audience, this is how far we can go on the program Regnum Continuous Legal Education. I believe you learned a lot because I also learned. Learn to protect yourself. Whatever you're consuming, make sure you check for the manufacturing date and, of course, for the expiring date. Don't just consume things you are not sure of. And to the manufacturers, please always take the safety of your consumers at heart and ensure that whatever you're doing, you do it for the best reasons. Okay, so at this point, we would leave you to enjoy the rest of the program on Starcross Television. So until we meet again, same time, every Friday, 7 p.m. on Starcross Television, please do well to always and always take care of yourself. Happy weekend to you, and of course, enjoy the rest of the program on Starcross Television. I am Peace Smith. Bye for now.